Told through the stories of today's leaders in finance, tech, real estate, culture, and sustainability. We share the boundless and beautiful technology of nature, where health is the new luxury and opportunities for a better future are being crafted by the second. This is Planet Go, with your host, Enzo Di Taranto.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ray Leonard Jr. with the Know Better, Do Better podcast. I've been bringing you some phenomenal interviews this week while we down here in Art Basel in Miami. And this interview is no less than spectacular with the amazing Mr. Enzo Di Taranto.
Correct.
Yes, Enzo, thank you so much for being here. He's a leader in sustainability, UN campaigns, and you name it, a philanthropist. He's done it all. One of the most amazing people that I've had the opportunity to interview. He's changing the world. Thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. To you and your crew and the Ovations and the Nobody Studio. You guys are shaping the future. We were talking about that. It's the future of tech industry, the future of public speaking.
Yes.
And so everything is changing in this new economy that is becoming more and more green and blue because of the transition from the fossil-based global economy to renewable energies, right?
Yes.
And we all want to build a planet that is cleaner and is more prosperous for future generations. So how do we join forces in different industries, and we synergize, and we do that much better and much faster.
Well, you know what? That's never the super sexy thing to talk about sustainability and green and how we take care of our planet, take care of our future. But how did this become a passion for you? Like tell us a little bit more of your backstory and
Right.
why this became a passion for you.
Yes. So I've been very privileged because I was the campaign manager of the United Nations Secretary General in New York and in many countries worldwide. And my focus has always been sustainable development. So how countries can design societies and economies that are respectful for the environment. And so you see, for me, it's also a spiritual mission because if we help people to connect better with the planet, they connect also better with themselves and with others, right?
Right.
And so we all become better persons if we feel this connection with nature in a stronger and deeper way. And so my background has been with the United Nations promoting the Sustainable Development Goals, which are targets set by all governments worldwide in the United Nations General Assembly to have zero carbon emissions, or at least reduce the carbon emissions, and fight hunger, and having drinkable water, clean water for everyone,
Right.
by the year 2030. So we have like 7 years to go. We have to change the world because as it is not sustainable in the long term.
That's such a big, huge responsibility and thought process to say, how do we maintain and create a better world, a more sustainable world, and then globally. So how do you deal with that from a space of knowing that there's a lot of pressure to do it, but also if we don't do it, there's going to be terrible circumstances, right?
Exactly. We are humanity is at a cross point of this life journey. It's now is really the time to act. So far there have been a lot of political engagements and statements. Some has been done, but much more needs to be done. Now, the last 2 years have been critical in moving the green agenda globally forward, because there was a conference organized by the United Nations and promoted by the British and Italian governments last year, During that conference, the major financial institutions like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Union de Banque Suisse, these major financial players, they committed trillions of dollars to finance the transition of the world economy towards renewable energies and sustainability.
Right.
So capital should not be an issue anymore. But now what we can do, people like you can certainly sensitize and raise awareness of investors, of entrepreneurs, to be more active in developing new technologies and new business models that are more conscious and more sustainable.
Well, that should be an easy conversation. My grandfather told me when I was young, because you know better, you do better.
Right.
And then, but for me, it was an easy thing, but it didn't kick in until I was older. But the fact that we have to make sure that we maintain or try to save our planet, or to be more sustainable with what we're doing, that should be an easy conversation. So what is the biggest drawback, or what is the biggest area of friction from people around the world to saying here, we all should be in that game, right?
Absolutely, and this is a critical question. Actually, this is the question, I should say. Obviously, as in every other trend, the economy, our economic considerations are what slow down or accelerates any agenda, right? So now with the Ukrainian-Russian crisis and the volatility of the oil prices, there is more consciousness about both, living in a more peaceful and respectful world, but as well to don't rely too much from the volatility of the oil prices.
Right.
And so tap more into solar, into hydro, into all these renewable sources of energy. And so there is a movement now in the both investment and entrepreneurship spaces that are doing that, are accelerating because of economic reasons,
Right.
But they don't want to depend on these fluctuations. And so this is the propelling factor. But of course there are, big industries like the gas and oil industry and many others that, are gradually transitioning.
Right.
But I want to mention just one thing. I know that you are a fan of Formula One.
Yes,
And
yes.
so, exactly. So there the upcoming Formula One Grand Prix in Miami in May 2023 will promote a very important initiative by the Formula One Association that is called Net Zero Initiative 2030. And so there is a commitment by the F1 Association to reduce carbon emissions by the year 2030. So to answer your question, even in these spaces and industries that are very dependent on oil, there is, this movement towards reducing carbon from the atmosphere and have a better and healthier planet.
So you say so money and economics causes friction sometimes within making the right decisions. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you talk about the F1, I fell in love with F1. I got with my father to do the starting flag at the Indianapolis 500 years and years ago, and I just fell in love with the cars and the noise and the precision of the drivers.
Yes.
So for Miami, for Vegas coming up, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and you see Formula One and UFC, I mean the MMA industry, are the most booming industry in the world right now in the entertainment and sport. So we have to sensitize the key players in those two industries, and you can play a key role in the fight business because also fighters like drivers, they have this deeper connection with their bodies, with their minds. And so they understand that being in touch, like Lewis Hamilton is very conscious about these issues, and they can be, very, very strong ambassadors of the sustainability agenda.
Yeah, you talk about Lewis Hamilton and driving at 200 plus miles an hour in the car that you're just sitting in there and having to focus that long. I wish we would have more of a focus on sustainability in that space that it takes for the athletes and for the drivers, for the MMA guys, because you take your eye off the ball for 1 minute and then it's a bad situation. It's the same thing with sustainability, right?
Absolutely. We have to keep the focus, and I encourage all your audience in whatever spaces you work, either you are investors or entrepreneurs or creators, to focus all your energies and resources to promote this sustainability consciousness, first of all, and also business implementation, because a profit is and remains the main important factor in any economy and any society. And so we have to find ways that are profitable but also more respectful of the planet.
Yeah. So how can the average person be a part of the growth and helping us be more sustainable? Because it looks like such a big issue, and it's scary when you look at it in that phase.
True.
But each one of us has a due diligence or a duty to do something to help with sustainability. How's the average person help?
Right. So I want to say, like my platform, which is the Circle X, the Green Trillion Club. So we focus on climate finance, and it's an elite network composed of politicians, investors, celebrities, and so these are the decision makers. These are the people who can really move the agenda in certain directions. But to answer your question, everyone in our daily lives, we can be more respectful of the environment. We can use less plastics. We can recycle better. We can eat better, so we don't depend on medicines to reduce the impacts of bad food or too much alcohol or drugs or things like that. So the thing is that we have to become more conscious of ourselves first, being respectful of other people, and then being in harmony with nature, because nature is not, it's not violent. Nature, if you observe nature, you only see growth, you see beauty, you see prosperity. That's what you see. Now, humankind is destroying this harmony and this beauty and this prosperity. So the little things of every day can also make a huge difference. And people who have a large and broad platform like you, and you are a motivational speaker with a global influence. So people like you can really, instill this sense of urgency in the youth, in different industries, and it's not only your job or my job or anyone's job. It's all together we can have an impact.
Absolutely. So tell everybody where they can find you or have a conversation with you.
Absolutely. So my Instagram is Enzo Global, so ENZO Global all together. On LinkedIn, which is my main platform, is Enzo Di Taranto, is DI space TARANTO, and I'm a public figure on Facebook.
You can just Google him. You find out all the information about this amazing man. Well, I appreciate you. I thank you for your time. I think you're going to inspire more people. That's what we want to do with the platform. But what we're doing here at Nobody Studios, trying to create companies that have an impact on the world. And so what I'm doing with my podcast is know better, do better. Hopefully you know better and do better from listening to these amazing people. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Enzo.
It's my pleasure. Heartfelt thanks for giving me the space.
Absolutely.
And looking forward to do great things together.
Thanks.